Hey there, be sure to like, subscribe, and ring the bell. Hello crypto friends, how are we doing out there? The FUD train is running crazy here with the fear, uncertainty, and doubt. So let's have a look at the charts, see what we're looking at for today. BTC USD falling through support as we speak. So we are down there at the 42,854.40 is what we're looking for to hold up. And resistance going to be coming back through that previous high. Right in that area, we'll get that stop loss just below there. Resistance 44,467.12. For Bitcoin, we are right down there. We're no longer oversold, but getting back into that area again. So scoping out a bounce play. And let's move on to Ethereum ETH USD. We have support at the 3216.69 and your resistance level 3412.16. And RSI still not overbought or oversold, I should say. So we're kind of waiting for that to play out. And let's move on into BNB USD. Binance Coin support 501.908 and do have resistance right here in this previous high at the 520.68 to get through and contend with. Let's move on to ADA. Cardano looking to support to hold it at the 1.97, so we're trying to hang on to that $2 psychological range and got resistance up at the $2.10 going back through. Moving on to PolkaDot DOT USD. Got support setting at the 37.48 and resistance at the 40.917. And moving on to DOGE USD. Sorry about that. And we're looking at support to hang in there at the 0.4749 and going to be a tight range to try to get through this resistance at the 0.4956. For Doge, just move on to Litecoin, LTC USD. So we have support trying to hold up at the 272.76 and resistance up at the previous high there, the 283.56. Moving on to Chainlink, down 11.2%. So Chainlink feeling some pain here as we look at support to hold at the 36.09545 and resistance at the 38.389. And we'll move on to Stellar XLM USD. Look at its support to hold up at the 0.6246, I should say. And gonna look at resistance coming through these previous sets of highs on that run up there. So we're gonna have to look at 0.6456. Moving on to Vechain. And we have support trying to get back through, sitting right there. Kind of barely grabbed it. There we go. 0.1552 and tight range again. Resistance at the 0.1625. And let's move on to FIL USD. Support to hold at the 96.72 and resistance there at the 105.09. Moving on to Storj, STORJ. And we have support at the 1.465 and resistance trying to get through the 1.535 for Storj. Looking at Internet of Things, IOTA USD. Lost that support level we had marked this morning. So we're going to look down at the next level at the 1.80 and resistance creeping down there at the 1.88. Let's move on to COMP USD. Comp looking to hold 655.202 and resistance at the 691.52. Moving on to BAT USD. And there we have support down there at the 1.0389 and resistance at the 1.078. Having a look at ETC USD Ethereum Classic. And support 84.81 and your resistance level coming up through the 91.94. And let's move on to MANA USDC Mana. Support still hanging in there at the 1.044 and resistance now at the previous high 1.097. You're just tuning in the channel for the first time, I do have a how-to video over there in the chat box. You can click there and you can learn what all these things are I'm doing up here. All the indicators used, how to get these buy and sell targets, etc. Let's move on to ZIL USD. We have support at the 0.1661 and resistance down at the 0.1761. Moving on to NU USD. Tight range as we try to hold on to that support at the 0.3642 and resistance up there at the 0.376 on that previous high right there. NMR USD got through support, lots of selling coming down here, these big wicks. We have support down to 62.68 and resistance going to be right there at 72.63. Did manage to squeeze in a new all-time high up to 96.20. That was actually the 16th yesterday. Moving on to GRT USD, the graph token. Fell through that support level, so we're going to look to hold up there at the 1.1728. So keep an eye on that. And your resistance is going to be at the 1.247. Moving on to UNI USD. Support 32.692. And resistance at the 34.45. Moving on to AAVE USD. Okay, grab the wrong thing. There we go. Let's grab that thing. New level of support 532.145 and AAVE USD is up 6.24%, so not too bad. But trying to get back through that resistance level to 569.14. Going to MKR USD. We're into these DeFi tokens. If you haven't noticed. Holding support right there at the 4237.74. And going to watch resistance come through the 4509.72. Moving on to audio. And audio set support at the 2.01 and resistance up there at the just above that 100-day moving average. And audio is actually looking pretty good. It's up 13%, and we have our short-term moving averages, the 12 and the 26 curling up to come up, provide some support. So 2.228 resistance for audio. Moving on to CHZ USD. We are sitting right on that resistance level, so that's a 0.4015, and we'll leave it down there at the 0.389 will be the next level. We may need to retest that as volume is trailing off. And we're going to look at resistance there at the 0.4155. Moving on to Theta, THETA USD. And we have support on that low low pivot low there, 9.28, and resistance to get through is going to be right there at the 10.08. Moving on to ENJB USD. Support at the 1.75 round psychological number. And going to look up at the 1.85 resistance on the climb back through. Wrapping up here with Harmony 1 as we always do. Good bounce off that 100-day moving average, so getting a lot of support as you can see. Normal. Numerous tests bouncing off of there. So we got support down to 0.1315 and going to look at resistance 0.1441. We'll wrap up here with the Bitcoin dominance. Still kind of going sideways. We haven't shed anymore, but we are getting pretty thin with the BTC. Down to 41%, and then total crypto market cap, we did lose that $2 trillion mark. So we are down to $1,958 billion. So look, we'll look for some money to get back in there. And that does it for me, folks. I appreciate you stopping by. Hit that like, subscribe button. And I will see you in the morning on the Crypto Morning Show.